Okay. Hat or no hat? Okay, I do like hats, but here we go. Hi, so I wanted to take this opportunity. You've already heard me on Teams, so thank you for being with me. And today, this short video clip, maybe it's 10 minutes, is going to give you a short, brief introduction to the expectations for the OC Open Cultures semester. So here we are. Here's the expectations for the OC course. If my eyes do move away from looking directly into the camera, it's because I am checking the display that I have in front, which gives me the messages that I need to tell you, the things that you really need to know. Okay, so this is an opportunity to practice being taught in English, and it's giving you the skills to follow a semester abroad. Some of you may already be here from another place, but I'm sure that the coronavirus pandemic has put a temporary stop to that. Some of the destinations that we had last year, Canada, Dublin, South Korea, San Sebastian, Prague, Canada, Bangkok, Jordan, Mexico, Quebec, and definitely Dublin, Bolivia. Maybe the semester abroad has been put back, but in the meantime, we're continuing with the OC, and the course will be adapted to take into consideration maybe topics and subjects related to the impact of technology on managing the coronavirus pandemic. This is one of the key points, to keep the topics contemporary and relevant, related to technology and the current situations. And one of the key words that will drive the next 10 weeks is probably adaptation. How to adapt. We are adapting in many ways. Adapting to online teaching and being a student through the camera. And also adapting to speaking through masks. At school, we will be distancing and the obligation is to wear masks. However, with a video like this, it gives you the opportunity to catch more gestures. So I think that the online teaching environment may be a little bit more richer than face-to-face, but this is about adaptation. We're adapting to many things: technology, situation, and the way that we react to these two things. So as a prof, as a tutor for this topic, I do have to keep myself informed. So I do read quite a lot. So here is a current dossier of people's concepts about what's going on related to technology and the COVID situation. I do read in physical form, but also on this device here. It's not a Kindle. This is more an open source access kind of Kindle, and it's called Diva, a French brand. So really, this is something to go forward with. So this Kindle gets relegated to the box, and the open source is more ethical. And of course, this is one of the main criteria for looking at open cultures and OC, ethics and technology. And what are the expectations of you as a student? Well, every week from week 3, you will be doing a piece of reading with MCQ, and this is probably the main form of your assessment for the OC module. So you have MCQ on a Monday, plus there will be one essay and a midterm exam and an end of term, end of semester exam. So that's one essay, MCQ questions weekly, and one mid-term exam, and one end of term, end of semester assessment. So this word adaptation, adapting, do you adapt easily, or do you find it difficult to change and respond to the environment that changes around you? With COVID, this has happened quite vigorously. We have had to adapt within many forms of life, school, work, remote working here. However, I can drink my tea when I feel like it here, and also in the classroom, but here I can have access to the kitchen when I feel like it. So in terms of adapting, I have a little video clip that I am going to send you to. The video clip is not this. In the description below this video, you will find a link, and the link takes you to a video clip about a subject called culture lag. Culture lag. So this is what we will focus on for this session, culture lag, as an introduction. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video, and then you will watch the video clip from the beginning through till 1 minute and 13 seconds, just 1 minute and 13 seconds, the first 1 minute and 13 seconds. There are 5 questions. You have the questions on the sheet that I already sent you at the beginning of this session. It's a PDF with 5 questions. Maybe it's a doc, but a PDF or doc. You have 5 questions. So your task is to watch the first 1 minute and 13 seconds of the video clip, the link in the description, and answer those 5 questions. And then you're going to come back to the Teams channel and we will share those responses. Okay, so pause. And I recommend that you keep this video open in one window and launch a second window with just the new URL for the YouTube clip showing you the video about culture lag. Okay, so pause. And once you've finished, answered the 5 questions, come back to the Teams meeting. Okay. Two. So again, thank you for participating in that session, that interactive session using Mentimeter. And the next part, I want to review this idea of culture lag with some slides from the iPad, which I will launch and show you the screen, and that will be a 2 minutes review that I'll put connected with this video clip with some commentary right now. So if I just take you through the idea, so here's a summary, a review of the idea of culture lag and some of the expectations of the course. So It's about exploring destinations for a study semester abroad, and also to be able to identify key points of a lecture in English. And you may have just noticed there is this graphic of the three bubbles suspended over the word attitudes. So what are your attitudes towards a semester abroad, and also technology in general, the values, ideas and beliefs which are about culture lag. So here we have culture on the left, and as technology and innovation come at a vigorous pace, the physical, material and procedural environment is kind of shaken, it's kind of changed. So at that point we have culture, which we understand, we participate in culture, and so this is the ideas and beliefs begin to make sense. Everything about culture is familiar. The way we eat, the way we communicate, the way we use technology right now. However, the technology and innovation maybe comes too quickly, and the physical, material and procedural elements need to change quite rapidly. And if they don't change rapidly enough, then there's a little problem of stability. In which ways can technology come along and change and modify the way we do things? As you can see the graphics on the right hand side here, the right, we have the bike representing maybe leisure, work, law, the way we consume food. Yeah, we know it. Websites are modifying and apps are modifying the way we interact with these common parts of our daily lives. So adaptation eventually comes. So remember, this is about culture lag. Lag, what does it mean? Lag. Maybe you have a phone which does not have enough memory, and maybe you have a phone which does not have enough memory, and you press a button, the response time is very low, the response time is very slow, so there's a lag. So culture sometimes takes time to adapt to the new innovations. And which elements are at risk of slow adaptation? Well, we have the people icon, the mortar board, a graph showing growth, and a pencil. So what are these? These are the communities that we live in, the institutions that we participate in. The shareholders are the ones profiting from the new technologies, and the regulations and law which regulate the way we use these technologies. Let's turn this axis from white to red. So the red signifies there's a little bit of a lack of stability, and the line follows right through to culture, which means that culture turns red. It's a little bit of a red alert. What is happening to culture as technology changes our relationship to our habits, the way we interact with each other? So culture, the ideas, beliefs and values begin to make less sense than before. There's less stability. But is this a problem? Well, it's not a problem. All it is culture lag is something we experience because technology exists. It could have been technology from 100 years ago, 200 years ago, today, tomorrow. There's a relationship here, and culture is never stable, never static. It's never in stasis. It's always moving. So is culture lag a real problem? It's a natural phenomenon technology will always create issues where we need to adapt. And this is the topic of what we will do for the 10 weeks. Technology, your role in technology as producers of the technology, and as on your semester abroad, what are the implications for the way you will respond to your new environment. So ideas, beliefs and values are in flux. They are never quite static. Innovation comes along, and then we have a cycle which is moving, and people shift their ideas, but maybe not quickly enough. Are you an early adopter of new technology, or do you wait to see how other people are responding? Consequently, as people are slow to absorb and react to technology, this creates social problems. So one definition of culture lag is it is a cycle which creates social problems because it takes time for culture to catch up, to respond with constant new innovation and physical, material, procedural changes. Have you experienced that yourself? So each week we will look at issues related to this concept. And as I said earlier, the key word, adaptation. How are you adapting? How am I adapting? How do we adapt? We all adapt, but at what pace? At a slow pace, a regular pace, or a fast pace? The people that adapt more slowly are the ones who will experience more social problems. Okay. So that gives you an indication of what is expected and the topics that we will cover during the next 10 sessions. And to finish, do I enjoy delivering this module? Well, yes. There are reasons for wanting to engage in technology and the ethical implications of technology. As engineering students, you are obliged to possibly think and consider the impact of your participation in creating new technology and pushing algorithms. So what about students and their relationship to the environment? Well, as a journalist as well as a teacher, previously I was doing a podcast, and that is where I have learned maybe to tell stories that are engaging, but also, I hope, objective in some way. And here's a short clip from the podcast that I made called Urban States. It's just 3 minutes, and it was a time in 2016 when students from the US came to visit Paris, and I was invited to give them a tour of street art and the areas of Paris. And it was just after the Charlie Hebdo terrorist attacks. So here's a 3-minute clip. And do you think that the students actually are experiencing some kind of culture shock in their experience of Paris? What are they doing to counter this feeling of being overwhelmed by something new and unfamiliar? So it's just 3 minutes. So I'm going to leave you to play out this clip, and at the end you're going to come back to the team's meeting, and then we will finish. So the objective is just listen some more to this 3-minute clip, and we will come back and finish the session in teams. So thanks for listening. Let's listen.
My experience with street art prior was more graffiti style. It didn't seem to have much depth.
The street art tour that we did was my favorite part. I don't know, street art feels like the self-published book of the art world, where, some of it isn't great, but a lot of it is absolutely incredible.
And especially since the past few months and the past few years, there's been so much going on. There's way more of a symbolic, hidden meaning behind each piece that is done and expressive of the current political issues in Paris.
Before walking the streets of Paris, I really didn't have a lot of exposure to street art. I was more used to going to art museums, which have a more white cube approach to art in general.
And your T-shirt it has a slogan. We can't avoid it. This is the beginning of anything you want. Is this? Could you translate that into French? Our conspirator in this adventure.
Ça, c'est le début de tout ce que vous voulez.
My name is Haley Frizzle, and I'm 22 years old.
My name is Charles Pyatt. I am 22 years old.
My name is Jessica Hodge. I'm age 20.
My name is Brooke Schmelder, and I am 20 years old from the United States of America.
Hello, everybody. My name is Max Pfeiffer. I am 20 years old, and I've just spent a week in Paris.
And we have a psychologist in our midst. What's your reasoning for being here, and how's the day been for you?
Oh, I'm here because I'm traveling with one of the persons in charge. But my day's been great. I'm not an artist, but an admirer, and it's fun to hear the perspective of people who love art and know more than I do to help me understand what it is I'm looking at.
You sell yourself short there. So the organizer here, what's the emphasis of what's the outcome? Why bring students to different cities?
Sure. Well, the program started about 4 years ago, and a collaboration at the university, Missouri State University, between the Department of Art and Design and the Department of Modern and Classical Languages, to really bring students together, a diverse group of students, and then to explore new places, new lands, and to focus specifically on art, on culture, on language, both inside and outside the context of the museum.
The sample is from Oi Oi Oi. I am indeed 18 years old.